Hey, what's going on? It's Matthew. So excited today to talk about some more neuroscience of B3 body-based breakthrough and why it's so valuable and important to the work that we're doing. So the foundation of B3 is deeply rooted in neuroscience, and particularly in understanding our window of tolerance, as it's called, the process of nervous system deactivation and the crucial aspect of regulation, which again is staying inside of our window of tolerance, which we have. And by mastering these concepts, we can harness the full potential of our cognitive abilities and achieve optimal results. So that's what I want to talk about today. So specifically the window of tolerance. Imagine a range of emotional intensities that we can comfortably experience and process and also integrate into our system. So this is what's called our window of tolerance, and that's proposed by Dan Siegel, who's a famous medical researcher and doctor and shares a lot about these things. And so it's our zone of optimum what's called arousal, but our ability to maintain and be with intensity, right? And so ultimately, when we break through that threshold, when we break through that window of tolerance, we end up losing our ability to be present, to be relaxed, to be alert. And sadly, unfortunately, many of us are actually outside. We bust right through that window of tolerance all of the time. And sadly, our nervous systems have become trained to sit outside of that window of tolerance. So what we want a solid window of tolerance that we wave and ebb in and out of, or I should say wave in and through most of the day. And so I want you to, when it comes to deactivation, when the nervous system's activated by stress, it's essential that we have tools like body-based breakthrough for deactivation. So deep breathing, obviously relaxation, and even taking a break can help calm the nervous system. But this is specifically what we're doing in body-based breakthrough is we're combining all of these things to allow the system to deactivate from the intensity, from the anxiety. So anxiety is something that actually lifts up intensity and again can break us through that window of tolerance. So what we want is to be able to ride the wave of intensity and then be able to actually come back down. And so that's going to again allow us to transition from these heightened states of arousal that many of us, or intensity or overwhelm, whatever you want to call it, that many of us are in, into a much more balanced state, which is going to allow us to think more clearly and obviously have improved emotional well-being. And then this last part is regulation, which I think many of us have heard of nervous system dysregulation, but regulation is just simply the opposite of that. It's the ultimate key, really. It's our ability to adapt and move between these different states of arousal, right? Or de-arousal, again, intensity. You can use those words back and forth. It doesn't mean anything sexual. Arousal just simply means the system experiencing more and more intensity. And so it's our ability to adapt and move between these different states when we're faced with stressors. So being regulated means that we're not overwhelmed by these challenges. We can stay inside of our window of tolerance and we can access our thinking more effectively. So B3 really equips us with the skills to regulate our nervous system throughout the day and to enhance our capacity to thrive under pressure, which for so many of us out there that are really ambitious folks that want to achieve at a really high level, reach our full potential by having, number one, that expanded window of tolerance to be able to handle more. We'd say expanding your capacity is huge. We also want what's called, again, effective deactivation. So I can experience lots of intensity, lots of arousal, but I can also then come back down. And then lastly, to have what's called enhanced regulation. So my ability to just simply ride those waves without getting too spun out, right? And to be able to handle more and more inside of that window of tolerance. So again, all this neuroscience is stuff that I've been studying now for over a decade, and I love sharing this and teaching this inside of body-based breakthrough when we do our facilitator trainings, as well as just even in the basic trainings. And I'm going to continue to deliver more and more of this here on YouTube, or IG, but the neuroscience behind this again is so deeply profound. If you're interested, I love Peter Levine's work, somatic experiencing. That's what I've been trained in, and I continue to learn more and more from other teachers. So Irene Lyon, obviously Dan Siegel, as I mentioned, Kathy Kane. There's so many phenomenal teachers out there of the nervous system, and so that's really it for today. Is I want us to just really hone in on these ideas of window of tolerance, deactivation, and regulation, how they all play together to allow us to not only be more productive when we step off of the B3 that, but then are able to then go out into the world to be more effective, more efficient, so that we can ultimately actually achieve our goals and reach our full potential. So that's it for today. Big hugs. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you really soon. Peace.